Hi, this is Joycelyn Wells of Love, Passion, and Happiness. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I would so appreciate it. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about some words, right? Words, and listening. I speak from an I perspective because I can only talk from my experience, and hopefully when I do that, it helps you to kind of build some confidence and know that your words and what you interpret is important. So we're talking about words today, and one of the things that I love to do is to ask people questions about what they've said, because I have to make sure I'm not interpreting something wrong or poorly. So I'm always like, did you mean, or is this your intention? Because words are so powerful. And I know from experience, I won't get into it at any point in these videos because I have my own healing on that, is that I can take a punch better than I can take some mean words, right? So my thought process, if you're trying to be mean to me, hit me. Just walk up to me and knock me out. I can get over that faster than I can get over the dig associated with words and meanness. Fortunately, at this time of my life, that I'm not necessarily dealing with meanness from people that are close to me. It's more so from people in the external realm, professional or grocery store. You know, you always encounter somebody that's got a little bone, and then that's not personal for you, that's personal on them. But anyway, let me get back on track. So your words are hella important, right? What you say, how you say it, the tone that you use. Now, we're not responsible for how somebody receives them. We're only responsible for what we say. As the receiver of the words, I get to process how they sound. I get to process what they mean. Now, that could be on me. I got that. But as the giver of the words, I need to be aware of what I'm saying because I am aware that they will be processed, right? So I usually try to make sure I'm very cautious about what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and who I'm saying it to. And I had to learn that from my children, right? I had to learn that talking to my children because we're so quick to blah, 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 even to the kids, that we don't realize we're kind of ripping them to pieces on how they receive and process information as an adult. So one of the things that I do is I would always talk to my children as calmly as possible. And you've seen my stuff, so you know I have a tendency to kind of sometimes. So, but I know that my children they weren't at a place to receive them and interpret them for what I meant. It was always an emotional response for them. So I had to teach them how to hear me, let them pick up on what I'm saying, and there's love attached to it, not a disconnect. So when people are saying things to you and you don't like the way you feel receiving them, you really want to know if it's their intention to make you feel some kind of way. Like, that's the goal, because you're like looking at them like, hey, I love you and we love each other, and you're talking to me like. But a lot of times before you have a chance to ask if it was their intention, you snap back too. And then it's a whole argument that leaves a lot of bruises and baggage and hurt feelings, and then somebody trying to apologize. Well, that's not fair to either one of the people in the relationship or in the situation. So what I try to do is to listen to people in their words and respond accordingly. I'm going to share the story with you. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she had been married, and she was having some problems with her husband. And she said, well, every time I try to talk to him, he says he doesn't care. And I said, well, he doesn't care. And she said, well, that's impossible, because I know he loves me. We've been married for whatever number of years, and I'm like, hey, stop with that. And she looked at me and was like, what do you mean? I said, he specifically told you he didn't care. He's an adult man who said, I don't care about this relationship. I don't care. Respect that he said, I don't care. and leave him the hell alone. Don't even have any further conversation. He's already stated he doesn't care. You're not going to do anything to make him care. So now you need to move forward on your own. You need to figure out what you need to do. Are you good with being in a relationship that he doesn't care and you're not having this conversation again? Do you want to walk away from the relationship? Take a break? Do you want to get a divorce? You are now in control of that. If someone specifically tells you something, receive them at their value. If you have questions about what they've said, ask them about it. One of my favorite questions to ask someone who I feel like they're coming at me, or they're, oh, you trying me? You know, when people say that, you trying me, or you coming at me, I ask, hey, just to be clear, is your intention to make me feel some kind of way? Is your intention to sound mean? Is your intention to hurt me? Was that your intention? Did you mean to? Before I even respond to what was said, I want to know what you meant when you said it. I want to know what I'm supposed, if that's what you wanted to do. Well, 9 times out of 10, people will say, oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say that. All I was saying was this, and it changes the tone. That's being in control of your own vessel. Everything I talk about is self. How to keep self moving in a path that's productive. So when you can have a conversation and you listen to people's words and you're processing them to stop you from getting into the negative energy exchange or from stalling on your path because of this exchange, look at it exactly as it is and ask, hey, did you mean to hurt me? Did you mean to talk to me this way? Ask. That's okay. No one's going to tell you you can't ask. The beautiful part of that is that that's the freedom in being your own entity. That's the freedom of your self-love, of your self-preservation, of moving on your path, is asking what people meant when they said what they said. And a lot of times we can't do that because we're intimidated or we're scared or we are ready to fight right off. Fighting shouldn't be your response to someone saying something to you. That's not the response. The response is, what in the hell did you mean when you said that? Because I'm feeling some kind of way. Now that's a response. Or, excuse me, do we have a problem that I'm not aware of? Because that's the whole thing. They're taking you out of your element, right? They're now raising some hair on the back of your neck. What's this about? So when people talk to you, hear them. Listen to what they're saying. Feel them. But most importantly, how you feel. Understand how you feel in receiving it. Now, if somebody is talking to you and you don't want to hear it, you can tell them, stop talking to me, and walk away. That can be husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, mom, dad, kids. Stop talking to me. Because the one thing that you're responsible for is protecting you. No one can make you receive bitterness, meanness, harshness. They can't make you receive it because you keep it with you. You keep it and you process it over and over and over. And as soon as they say something again, you're like, oh, they meant to say that. They did that before. There's not a forgiveness in it. There's not a trust in it. And you end up either being conditioned to being their doormat or receiving their emotional abuse, or you end up walking away from the situation because you don't want to be emotionally or mentally abused, right? So take people's words as they are. Take them as they are. Ask questions. Don't take their negative words and spew back negative. Listen to what they're saying and ask a question. Most of the time, people aren't trying to hurt you with their words. Now, it is some people that do try to hurt you with their words, and they want you to forgive them for it. I can't forgive for somebody intentionally trying to hurt me. There's no forgiveness. You can't. I can say, oh, I forgive you, and I can cut that off. But there's no future in us having something if your intention is to hurt me, right? So you don't stay in relationships and loving relationships with people who want to hurt you. No. You have to say, I'm done. I'm out. I heard what you said. I'm going to keep it moving. Don't feel obligated to stay as somebody's verbal punching bag, right? So this whole lesson is listen. Listen to the words, process the words, ask your question. You are in control of your response. Don't give off a negative response to engage in a bottomless pit of anger, because you're not going to grow from that. If anything, you're going to be hurt from it, and you're going to end up wasting time in a space that's not good, which ultimately blocks you from moving forward to your purpose. So, subscribe to my channel. Love, passion, happiness. I'm Joycelyn, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.